Once upon a time, there was a girl who found herself in a dark and turbulent place. She had allowed herself to be swept away by the numbing embrace of alcohol and become tangled up in a toxic love affair that seemed to suck the life out of her, piece by piece. It all became too much. The pain, the guilt, the chaos. So she found herself at a hospital, a place where she was stripped of all her worldly possessions, her phone, her own clothes, even the things that defined her identity were taken away. All she had were a few items approved by the staff and that strange hospital uniform that made her look like everyone else. But in a way, that anonymity was a small comfort to her. At least there, she was not defined by her past mistakes or the chaos that had enveloped her life. For the first few days, she was like a zombie, drifting in and out of sleep, woken up only for meals and medication. But as the fog of alcohol slowly cleared, she started to feel a new sense of clarity and peace. She started to explore the hospital lobby, where she saw a mix of characters. There was the elderly teacher, practicing calligraphy to find some peace in this sterile environment. There were all sorts of the people, waiting impatiently in line to use the public phone, eager to reach out to the world outside the walls. Watching them, she couldn't help but wonder, do they usually have this much to say to anyone? It seemed strange how eagerly they waited to reach the outside world when their own lives appeared so controlled and regulated. But in the same breath, she found herself thinking,
but who am I to judge? We're all products of this place, after all.
This thought, rather than bring her discomfort, only added to her sense of detachment and anonymity. Looking around the room, she took in this strange gallery of characters once more. They were like products on an assembly line, stripped of individuality, reduced to a routine. Despite the strangeness of the situation, she started to find comfort in this routine. It was like being free from the burden of thinking or planning, simply following the program. And in a way, even her uniform, with its faded blue lines, she thought to herself,
maybe I'm the only girl who can make this uniform look somewhat decent.
the dull blue lines and shapeless designs seemed to become part of her, like a badge of honor, despite the lack of individuality it represented. Visiting hours, however, continued to be difficult. Whenever her parents came to see her, it felt like being knocked back into reality. The weight of guilt and shame was crushing. The realization that she had hurt the people she loved and had to confront the reality of who she was. She was felt like a cruel slap in the face, a constant reminder of her failures. Nevertheless, she continued to play the role of the model patient. It was a performance, but one she had perfected in interviews and other public appearances. It was effortless to maintain the act, just as it always had been. In this performance, she found a twisted sort of peace. As her time in the hospital came to an end, she clung onto a sliver of hope for a brighter future. A cute boy had become a comforting distraction from the monotony of life there. But sadly, that connection soon transformed into something darker than she ever imagined. And so, the girl left the hospital, her heart filled with hope for a brighter future. But as she stepped into the outside world, the path ahead remained uncertain. Would she find laughter or tears, success or failure? It all unraveled, one thread at a time. Only time would tell.